Hello and welcome to the David Break Podcast, episode 40 for the week of November 8th, 2015. I'm your host, James Lee. With me today, we have Ravenstorm and Taylor.
Hi there.
Max Lee.
Hello.
And Taylor Kelsey.
Hello.
Welcome to the 40th podcast.
It should be Ravenstorm VRgin.
VRgin, right? Yeah.
VRgin. Kin of VR.
Please, no.
Well, anyway.
I thought I made bad jokes.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, well, fuck you guys. How about that one? Is that a bad joke?
That was actually a good. That was a good joke because I know you love me, Taylor.
Damn.
Welcome to the 40th podcast, guys. It's been a pleasure.
40th, dude. That
podcasting
is a
with all of you
good
guys.
milestone. I can't wait to get to 50 personally.
Oh,
It's such a
but-
random number. Why is it a good milestone?
What do
It's
you
a
mean?
it's a multiple of 10.
4 times 0.
Oh,
and it's,
fucking
and
who
it's
gets...
definitely
Multiple of 10 is a goddamn
Listen,
societal construct that doesn't mean anything.
No. It does because it's like why we put the most important thing in the upper left corner. It's because
We
it's
do?
a familiar
What are you talking about?
interface. Like, okay, never mind. Maybe that's
What
just
do-
a web
what do
design
we put the-
example. Maybe that's just. I should have said of the screen. That was probably.
I always put the most important things in the corner. That's where all my money is.
I mean,
That's
see
where
how
my
that-
family is. That's where my dog is.
I'm saying it's
Just keep 'em in the
archetypal.
corner.
We have 10 fingers and 10 toes. It like 10 is it's an important number. We have number systems based around 10. So it's
We're
like
not talking about toes.
it's
man.
like
We're
no, but
talking
it's like
about
how
what weeks
why do
we've
we
done of
choose
podcasts.
365 days? Why do you have your birthday?
We
Why do you
didn't
have your
choose 365 days.
You kind of did.
That's how
There's
long
no
it
some
takes
Roman
for us
guy
to
did.
go around the
Okay,
sun.
360 degrees. How about that? 360 degrees. We
think-
chose degrees.
did we?
I mean,
I think there's a
math is
reason.
all made up anyway. We can get
Yes.
that argument.
No, I
Math
think
is a
there's a
religion.
precise reason for using degrees.
No. It's inherited from a base 60 system the Egyptians had.
The basic
It's-
system. I see.
Yeah.
I would prefer base 12 to be honest.
Dude, base 12 is the shit.
Yeah.
Base 12 is the shit, but we don't care.
Because it's multiples
so-
2, 3, and 4,
Mhm.
which is useful. But we're not here to talk about numbers. We're here to talk about things that are not numbers.
What were we talking about
We were-
before we got in this?
We were talking about how your name is Ravenstorm VRgin.
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 Really?
Yes.
Okay.
As far as I remember, you two, Taylor and Ravenstorm, attended a little event down in San Francisco this weekend. Why don't you
Indeed
talk?
we
Yep.
did.
Why don't you talk about it? Why don't you talk about it?
Who wants
Alright.
to talk about it?
I will set the scene for you. Okay.
It's a dark and
Imagine
stormy-
waiting in line.
I can imagine that.
waiting in
Yeah.
line. And then doing this for hours. Like, okay, so here's the thing. I know this. I know that I probably didn't have as. I feel honestly a little bit disappreciative of that experience because I realized that Taylor was having a lot more fun than me because he could spot everyone who was famous and he knew these people and he
Famous
knew
for
about
me.
the things they did. And I was like, wow, if only I could see the density of interesting people here. If only I could
This
know
is
about that.
the worst way to set the scene. You've described nothing that's happened.
Okay.
You described a line.
No.
He just described a line.
No,
That's
we're waiting in
important.
line and being baffled by this. That was my experience for most of the time. But
They don't know
like,
what it is. We went to Day of the Devs, put on by Double Fine and I Am 8-Bit. It's a one-day event every year, usually around the Day of the Dead, where they bring in a ton of indie game developers to just come and have a public free. It's a free to get in. Just come and have the public play these games, and that's what we went to. And,
Cool.
And then Ravenstorm could talk about how he didn't like it.
I did like it. I very much enjoyed the experience. I just I wish I liked it to the degree that you liked it because you seemed to be getting a kick out of just being there.
He's just like, oh, there's people. Well, because I'm a fucking nerd and I know so much about every.
You're the
indie
fucking
game
nerd.
developer in the
In a
I'm
podcast
the
full of
nerd in
nerds.
terms of like indie game developers and like I met and talked to Phil Fish for like 10 minutes.
Wow, really? Really?
Yes.
That is amazing.
Ravenstorm had no idea who that was.
How was talking to Phil Fish though? Because Phil Fish is like, for those who know, he's kind of like a prolific person to say the least. Creator of Fez.
Creator of
Oh,
Fez,
that guy.
the game we played there is called Super Hypercube.
Okay.
Which is VR game. But so for him personally, he is never afraid to speak his mind, and his opinions are usually against the grain, we can say.
Yes.
And that was not any different. Me and him and some other dude talked about like YouTube Let's Players and the role of the press and uh, what's it called? Like copycat, like copying games versus iteration on games.
That seems really like intimate because
Mhm.
it's not it's not every day that you get to kind of like talk to an indie developer like you talk to some guy in line at a coffee shop. Because that's
Well,
what
we were waiting in line for this game, and I talked to him.
still in line, but yeah.
And he lived up to his Phil Fisher name of having something very volatile and distinctive to say. He said that he thinks the YouTube Let's Player should give him half of the revenue because it's his game and he made it.
Okay.
I don't. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
I mean, sure. Okay. Okay, Philfish.
That's definitely something controversial to say.
I mean, I can definitely see where he's coming from.
Oh, for
because,
sure.
Because he made this game, he wants people to buy it and experience it themselves, and he wants to be successful with it. But it's harder when people just play the game and scream over it and add nothing of actual value to the experience, and he doesn't get any cut for that.
Right.
Well,
I mean, we could
But
talk.
people still get somewhat of the experience of Fez.
We could still talk about that too. It's like, what about, like,
Advertising?
no.
I believe.
do
Okay.
you mean?
I remember seeing in. I don't know if this is the same thing, but I remember seeing in the opening credits of GTA 5 over and over. It says you can't use the game for public performance. I'm not exactly sure what that meant.
Well, people use that game for public performance
Like,
all the time, like Let's Plays.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound like a public performance?
That sounds like a public performance to me.
But it
tons of
I'd like
streaming.
to. I'd like to make public performance apply to that, though. I think that honestly, the game developers should get a cut, but at the same time, not half.
Yeah,
What is that? No. Okay.
silly, but
Yes.
that's what he said. Talking
Alright.
about that, he's nice to me. He has the same brand of vape pen that Ravenstorm has,
Yes, he does.
so he liked that.
I thought that was funny.
And then should I just talk about other people I talked to or
yes,
games?
I want to hear who you talk to.
I talked to Brad Muir, which is designer at Double Fine Productions,
Okay.
and he's leaving to go to work at Valve soon.
Ooh.
Nice.
And
Are
we
you proud of him about that?
Yeah, he talked to me about Valve a little bit, about how they don't have any managerial structure. Like
No middle
literally,
management?
there's no middle management. There's no. It's everyone's on the. It's a very flat. Like no one's above each other in the hierarchy.
Nice.
And the desks have wheels on it, and you can roll over and work at whatever the hell you want.
Really?
And yeah, he
Have you-
hasn't programmed in 10 years, but they hired him as a programmer.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sure he's gonna have fun there.
Yeah,
That's
he's the
amazing.
maker of Iron Brigade / Trenched before they had to change the name to Trenched, and then Massive Chalice, are the two games that Hughes really was the head on.
Right. You really liked Massive Chalice.
I did like Massive Chalice.
Yeah. I mean, you do, but
I still do.
yeah. Nah, I like
does-
that game,
it
and then I
doesn't
stopped
fade
playing
with
it, and
time.
I hate it now. I absolutely hate it with time. Yeah.
And then last person I actually had like a long conversation with was James Spafford, which is a community manager at Double Fine, and he's on one of the podcasts I like a lot called Idle Thumbs.
Oh, right. Yes.
And he was one of the main people that put the event on. So I talked to him for a bit. He's British.
These are a lot of like big names. Were you just like really, really excited about this?
Mhm.
Yeah, I can
I
imagine.
mean, I didn't. There's so many other people I saw there too. It's like so many crazy Double Fine people. Tim Schafer was there talking to people. I could
I
just
think
walk
I
up
saw
and
one
talk
of the
to Tim
guys from
Schafer if I wanted to.
Wow.
The redheaded guy.
Oh, Will
Will Smith.
Smith. Did you?
Yes.
I didn't see Will Smith.
We'll find out on this week's Tested podcast if you went or
If you
not.
went there, yeah.
We'll see if he says that he saw a guy named Ravenstorm.
You didn't. How would he know that?
or a younger version of himself, Taylor.
Yeah.
Young Will Smith.
Then
No.
not like there's so
We're-
many like Nina Freeman from Fulbright Productions,
Okay.
She's a designer on Tacoma, which is a game I played.
Oh.
She also just made Sybil, which just got released in Steam.
Okay.
And didn't talk to her because I didn't have anything to say other than like, I know who you are. This is weird.
Okay.
That was so much of the time is like, you're on the internet. Oh wait, you just live in San Francisco. You're actually a human being. This is weird.
90% of the people on the internet just live in San Francisco. Everyone knows that. I wonder if the Supergiant guys were there. Were they there? I don't think they. I would imagine they were.
They weren't showing their game.
Oh,
There's just no game to show. It's just
Right.
mostly unreleased games.
I see. Okay.
The only ones that were technically released are in early access games.
Ah,
None of them were like box like release games. All
Right.
still being worked on.
right. I know Supergiant's like still in the early stages of their.
Stop typing. Holy fuck.
I'm sorry. I'm dearly, dearly sorry.
Cherry Blues, everyone.
Cherry MX Blues.
Joining me
I'm proud of
today,
it.
Cherry Blues, Cherry Reds, and
Cherry Browns.
Jerry Brown.
the type of mechanical switches.
Oh, Scrub, you don't know your switches.
I have the Dell keyboard that originally came with my computer when I bought it 5 years ago.
Oh,
Can you give
How-
us a sound
how are you
test?
not arthritic yet?
I hit F 6 times.
Nothing like rubber domes in the evening.
I like
How
a
old
good
did that
rubber
come
dome
out?
from time to time.
Is rubber dome? You're talking about a condom? Like
Rubber dome twice weekly.
No, it's the type of switch used in the majority of keyboards.
Rubber dome, I barely know her.
Rubber dome. I barely know it.
God.
Oh, we've devolved.
Before
Yes,
we go
we
too
have,
far,
but that's all right.
what types of games were on display at
All
Day of the Dead?
Types of games.
Or
It
what
was
games?
everything
What
from
games?
VR to a game called Line Wiggler, which was a string of RGB LED lights, and a little, I think an Arduino it was wired up to. It was sort of interesting to watch.
Where you just have to, like, basically move your dot up the string of lights and then wiggle it to, like, avoid enemies, which is just, like, red. It's just such a crazy thing I never thought could actually happen.
So they're not-
Programming lights, and that's the entire aspect of the game.
I mean,
That's
screens are
fundamentally
just
what
like lights,
yeah.
right?
But
You
Fuck
don't
you.
understand. It was a visual art piece that you could play.
Yeah,
It
I
was
know,
pretty
that's,
cool.
it
that's
looked
understandable.
really nice.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
fun.
But there's
and
45
then-
games there. We didn't.
Yeah, there
play
were a
all
lot
them.
of games, and
But
they
there's
had
also a
game
lot of
beasts
people.
there.
There are a lot of people.
And
well, it's
yeah,
open to
too
the
many
public,
people
I
for the
imagine.
number of games.
And like San Francisco's, got that like very large density of people that are into that, into the scene, and then also it's free to public, so
I was actually surprised there weren't more people there, and it wasn't bigger.
I mean it's indie devs, right? So it's like the hipster.
Well, yeah,
games.
but still,
But I'm
Like-
not everyone has heard about it. I haven't heard about it until you mentioned it.
Right.
I didn't hear about it until Taylor invited me to it. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that I got to go into that experience because I got to try out VR with
Yeah.
this wonderful game called Adrift.
They had all of the VRs there, by the way. They
Oh,
had
wow.
The Vive, PlayStation VR, and Oculus.
And were people
Oculus-
just like lining up for days to try those out?
Stood in line an hour and a half.
Wow.
But it was only like 15 people in the line.
Oh,
Yeah.
but you know,
Very,
long
very
demo-
long demos.
Yes.
Except for when Ravenstorm did it, the guy cut him off.
That's unfortunate.
Oh,
Yeah, because I was too good. Too good.
He's esports.
I'm
I
kind
waited esports, dude.
like-
I was turning that into esports. You saw how I delivered that care package to Somalia, right?
I didn't see that.
Oh, okay.
I saw you just adrift in space.
Were you
I
doing the
was-
thing
okay,
that Plumber
okay.
Lucky was? Just like
I was
just
adrift
like
in space.
He's floating on. a
I was
fucking
adrift in
island.
space. I had a crate in my hands, and I looked down with this VR through my helmet down at the earth, and it was just this awestruck feeling. And
So-
I decided to toss the crate at the earth,
so
hoping that it would land somewhere in Africa.
so for many
Because
episodes.
all pictures of Earth has Africa facing forward towards the camera.
It's our most impressive planet. I mean, our
Continent?
most impressive continent. Sorry.
the planet of Africa. We need to
Planet
colonize-
Africa.
We need to colonize it. The British already did that.
We've
that's
sent
right.
our first probe to Africa.
Oh god.
Ravenstorm, for the past many episodes of the podcast, you've been a VR skeptic, to say the least. You always
I
said it was
have.
kind of like a it's gonna be a kind of a gimmick or a trend, something that's just gonna die away. How has this affected your view?
I think that okay. I'm gonna talk to you about the thing that bugged me the most. The most. Uh, despite okay, so the pixels. Holy fuck, the pixels, dude. On that Oculus, it was terrible.
Were you on CV1 or was it DK1, DK2? Do you know?
I don't know what it was, but it had the hardware itself had this awful sound setup. While all the other headsets had these really nice gaming headphones strapped
Oh,
onto them
yeah.
over the ear, nice and isolated, away from the screaming, yelling, general murmur of people. The Oculus just had these little foamy 80s over the ear things like the Porta Pros.
Except
And I
not
thought that
good.
this is no, not good at all. Like it just
Porta
wouldn't go
Pros are
down
actually-
over one of my ears.
The Porta Pros
And
are
I was
actually
just like,
great, by the way.
God damn. And I was like it took away from the experience for sure. The pixels were out of hand though, and the perspective was not what I thought it would be. I thought it would be a lot more. There would be a lot more depth. This is like maybe 0.5 3D, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Like your depth perception, it's definitely everything feels a lot closer, and you're still aware that you're looking through your character, because the interior screen is not. It doesn't go all the way around.
Is it?
It doesn't envelop your perception. It's just like I'd say 60 or 70% of it.
Do you get that screen door effect? Like
I did. I
you
think
could see
that's
the pixels.
I could see the pixels, and it was distracting sometimes. Like when I'd go by bits of glass that are floating. By the way, the game is exquisitely programmed, I think. Just really cool. I think it's 3 axes of movement. You can go X, Y, and Z, and you can roll, and it's quite disorienting at some points, and just
Which is
absolutely
good out of a space game.
Yes, and absolutely awe-inspiring at others. And I was just like looking around a lot of the time, going, "Holy shit! This is it's an environment. You're there. You're
Do you
there."
feel like you're actually in space when you
Yes.
played it?
Yes.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, feasibly. Okay.
Okay, I'm in space now. It's a little bit. It's a little bit blocky, but I'm still in space.
I was looking down at the planet at one point, and I just thought to myself, "God damn!" I might have said it out loud, but God damn, it was incredible. It was like being there, and you're floating through these little debris fields that have formed around your busted space station, and it's very, very immersive, and the sound engineering was really good too, despite the bad hardware. That Oculus, I think, will probably fall short of. Taylor, what was your VR experience like? I want to know, because that seemed like I was a generation behind or something.
I think yours is probably an older development kit or something.
I'm pretty
Really?
sure it's
Well,
got to be.
Well, like from the picture you sent me, Taylor, of Ravenstorm watching it, you had the headphones, which are like those are the ones that ship with the CV1, I believe. But it certainly is possible that they just be using an old version and they're just using terrible headphones. I'm just like taking a peek. No, never mind. No, it does look like it looks kind of like an older model. You're right.
I think I was a generation behind. I was very excited to try the. What was it called? It's the program that you can draw and paint in 3D. We've discussed this on the podcast.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know
Tilt
what it's
brush.
called.
Tilt brush.
Oh, that's what it's
Tilt
called.
brush.
Yeah, it's the one that Valve demoed with one of the old Disney artists.
Yes.
Yeah, that was there.
It was there, and I really wanted to try it, but the thing is, you're kind of performing in front of people at the same time, and I wasn't cool with that, given that I really didn't want to do anything but seriously just fuck around with how I can walk around things.
Just draw
How
dicks.
I can look at
Just
things.
draw dicks. 3D dicks.
God damn
Well, there's
it.
a lot of little kids there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and those
Uh,
little
but-
kids who are having a fucking hell of a time.
Yeah.
I would be
That's
too.
pretty
I
cool.
bet.
I would
They were
love to.
drawing trees and like like storm clouds, and it's pretty great.
I would
It's pretty
love
cool
to
to
be a
watch them
kid.
do that.
I would love to be a kid growing up in the Bay Area during this time.
God damn! But like
Uh.
that controller, the movement was so impressive. Watching the screen and things appear, and watching the person at the same time, it was so perfect.
It looked effortless. It's
Yes.
natural.
Yep. It's just like, oh
the
hey,
little kids grab this thing, know exactly how to do everything immediately.
That's that. Okay, that kind of like sells VR to me because
Yep.
people said the same thing about like iPads and stuff, and like
Mm-hmm.
how like kids just instantly just understand how to use a touchscreen device.
yes,
And I mean, obviously, touchscreens and iPhone, like smartphones, tablets, whatever, they're super big in our society these days. So with how easy it is for kids to pick up,
I
that
think
bodes
that
well
it's
for the
not
future.
out of the question. I think that given this experience, I think that VR will definitely not go away. AR
Okay.
will definitely not go away. It's sort of motivated me to look more into VR development as a future career path.
Okay.
Because dude, holy shit.
Work for Will Smith.
It's
Work
the
for Will
next
Smith.
thing. It's the next thing. It's the next television. It's the next frontier in human technological interaction, in cybernetics.
I fully believe this as well.
God damn.
Welcome.
Welcome to the VR age, everybody.
Yeah. Because like this is like a complete 180 too, right?
Yes.
From your opinion,
Yes.
literally like 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago even.
Really?
Well, I know at least a few weeks ago
You've always said VR is a gimmick. AR is where it's at. That's basically
Yeah.
your
yeah.
your stance.
I still believe that AR is where it's at, and I do want to develop for AR. I want to develop the web for AR most definitively. But God damn it.
VR.
VR, my opinion has completely changed. But that's the thing. I've gotten new information.
That's good.
The experience was something you can't describe. You can't really put it into words how it's just the next level of deception.
God damn.
You know what I mean? It's the next level of immersion.
What he told me when we were there is this is what it must have felt like in the 19-teens when people went to movie theaters the first time.
Yes. When
level of
someone first went to the
immersion
movies
is
and they saw
incredible.
those
And
color
it's such
films
a unique. Go ahead.
with sound, and it must have been just the most amazing thing to see this up on the big screen.
Someone take me to Day of the Devs next year. Or you know what? I'll just buy my own freaking dev kit.
Yes.
This shit's gonna be out next year.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'll wait for the consumer version. But I really do
Also-
want to try before it comes out because I'm.
I noticed that in that same room there was someone demoing some of those. I think it was who's making those headsets that you can just slide your phone into.
That's
Google Cardboard.
Google
No,
Cardboard.
it was not the
Gear
cardboard.
VR.
It seemed like
Samsung Gear VR.
Samsung Gear VR, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And the people there seemed to be having a hell of a time with that too. Just sliding their phones in and getting this experience. And I'm very much looking forward to the smartphone VR hybridization. I think that's what it's going to make it really accessible to everyone.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that's going to spur mobile development for VR. We're going to see higher pixels per inch, and probably different sorts of material on the screens, possibly. And we're going to see development toward mobile first VR.
So,
Can you buy Google
Well,
Cardboard right now?
Yes. Or
Well,
you could buy
yeah.
at least like. Well, yeah.
I imagine that Google Cardboard, the lens quality, it's all about the optic quality. Like that's really what it's about. And the way that the VR works is that you can calibrate it to different parts of your face, I guess. And the better headsets have the better optics.
Yeah. One thing to note is that there's like I think there's two main advantages for mobile VR. One, you get the pixels because Ravenstorm was having that issue with the
Oculus.
Oculus
with the screen door effect, right? It's like it felt kind of.
It definitely felt like I just knew that this is not what I'm not convinced that this is what I'm seeing. It's sort of like it's a video game, it's your character
Right.
seeing it because it feels like messed up vision. Like the
Right.
things on screen are clear. I can clearly recognize what it is, but it's just like it's sort of skewed and sort of diffracted. I don't know.
I see. Well,
And around the edges especially. because you can use moving your head and looking straight ahead was what I was doing most of the time. But sometimes I would look down or around with my eyes themselves, and toward the edge of the display, the warp is bad.
Okay. Yeah.
The warp is bad, so it's basically a head movement based VR. Is what I used.
So, I mean, this could be remedied by a high resolution screen because the Oculus does, I want to say, a 1920 by 1200. It's basically 1080p, but I think a little bit taller for your eyes.
I think so.
That's what the resolution is for the consumer version, at least. But these days, like Sony next month or this month is set to release a 4K phone. So
wow.
You can see how.
How the fuck?
Talk about unnecessary.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, as a matter of fact, the reason why they delayed this phone, it was supposed to release in tandem with their other phones, but like Android doesn't even support 4K, and they have to I don't think actually the phone itself doesn't even use 4K unless the app or whatever supports it. So like it's got a 4K display, but.
Wait, so the point is, see, that's future-proofing, though, because that's actually going to be handy soon.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, the hardware is, there. And, before, everyone was like, 720p on a phone? Wow, that's really high resolution. 1080p? That's, that's like...
Unnecessary.
That's unnecessary. And then, now they're going to 2.5K, 2560 by 1440. That's on, all of the new phones these days, the LG phones, the Samsung phones. Not the Sony phones, but the Sony phone has the 4K one. So, if mobile, because of these high resolution displays, it'll be easier for people to be immersed in a VR experience. And then,
just to have it accessible to them, and there's going to be a consumer market for it.
Everyone has a phone. Not everyone is going to have the hardware to run an Oculus Rift or an Oculus Rift at all, right? Or an HTC.
That was a pretty
whatever.
beefy PC that was running that game, by the way.
Yeah, it had two handles on the top, so you could pick it up.
It was your.
Oh, it was my case. My old case. My C70. The Corsair
yes.
C70. I love that case, by the way.
I'm pretty sure there was a Titan in there too.
Delicious.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
You need some really high-end GPUs for that.
GTX 970 is the minimum, I think.
Yeah.
Which is a $300 graphics card.
Crazy.
I mean, that's not much more than I paid. That's actually about as much as I paid for my card, but...
It is a first generation thing, though.
Yeah, it is a first generation thing. Optimization, blah, 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 blah.
Hey, speaking of accessibility, is there anything meant for people with glasses?
Oh,
Yeah,
you
they
can
work.
adjust it to your eyes.
Like the lens?
I don't think you have to wear glasses.
Yeah, the lenses adjust to it, guys.
Yes.
But also,
Okay.
they're designed with glasses in mind. A lot of them, you can, at least I've
Where
seen
do you think
people wear them with glasses all the time.
every nerd wears glasses. That's so.
Well, not you three.
Only a fourth of us.
Ravenstorm
do.
wears glasses, I think.
I have to wear
I
glasses.
think.
I have to wear very low-powered reading glasses for when I'm coding because otherwise my eyes hurt like a bitch.
But I'm the only one who has to wear them 24/7.
Yes.
And then, well, okay, and so the first advantage for mobile VR is the resolution. Second one is it's wireless. So like all of these experiences, PlayStation VR, Oculus, HTC Vive, they were all tethered down, right? They all had wires going to something, I imagine.
I'm pretty sure. I'm fairly sure. I don't think the Vive did.
Yeah, because they didn't. I don't think mine did either. I'm trying to remember. It's not something I thought about, but I don't remember there being a cord.
I was too busy being amazed. Holy shit! Yeah, no, it was seriously in the okay. So despite the flaws, despite the pixels, despite the uncomfortable-ish and bad sound quality, the experience was goddamn mind-blowing. It was ridiculous. And it's something that perspective changing certainly, and I recommend that you do this as soon as possible, so you know what it's like for yourself, because that's the best kind of knowing.
Right. That's the thing. That's the main thing about VR, right? You have to see it to believe it.
Moral of the story, yes.
Yeah. Taylor, I know you were also there. What did
I
you?
drove there.
What? How was that? How was the drive, by the way?
like 2.5 hours.
I know how the
hours.
from Sacramento to San Francisco, it's kind of rough.
It was
We
so
were on the
beautiful though.
fastest possible route.
Was the weather really good? Was the weather really good yesterday?
No, I'm saying it's beautiful because a venue was very close to being off the freeway, and it was out of the way from most of society, so parking wasn't an issue. It wasn't very crowded or anything.
Nice.
It was nice.
Nice.
But Ravenstorm is saying that it was the most optimal route because Siri or whatever his OK Google directions kept telling him it's like there is a shit ton of traffic up ahead. You're still on the most optimal route, like constantly. It's like
You are still on the fastest.
That's
route,
basically
like-
saying you're screwed no matter what.
You are fucked.
Yeah.
Keep going straight.
There's nothing we could do.
It was very polite. Very polite.
Not even
Yes.
the power of Google could clear up the Bay Area traffic.
But I played Super Hyper Cube,
Right.
which is Polytron, Phil Fish's company's game for
Mm-hmm.
the PlayStation VR, and they just had a PlayStation 4 there, so that it wasn't like any.
No hocus pocus.
Yeah, it was just,
No PC
unless there
hocus
was
pocus.
unless there was somehow a computer inside that PlayStation 4.
I mean, technically it is.
Yeah,
Possible.
whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a very very simple game.
They'd
You
have
know,
a smaller case than yours, James.
I know. Yes. The
Probably
the,
dimensionally.
Yeah. The console. This generation of consoles are very very small. I mean, they've always been fairly small, but you know, I know the PS4 is actually very.
The
Slim.
original Xbox is a hulking monster.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's true. That's true. But it played
Okay,
Halo. Go on.
Super Hypercube is the age-old tradition of there's a wall with a shape in it slowly coming at you, and you need to try and find the correct shape in order to fit through that wall without it stopping or hitting you.
Oh,
Does this sound familiar?
yes. It
Uh-huh.
sounds like a Japanese game show.
Like that Japanese game
Hole
show,
in the
yes,
wall.
called Hole in the Wall.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's that with cubes. You start with one cube, every wall you get through, it adds another cube on a random side to make a weird shape, and you have to just basically rotate the cube to try and figure out which direction will fit into the hole correctly. But the part where the VR cleverness comes in is the camera is right behind your cube, and you have to lean over and around the cube to try and see the wall, so you can see the shape the wall is in.
Mm-hmm.
And that it seems really simple, but it's way more fun than you could imagine of just leaning.
Right.
And it was the first time I put the headset on, and then the guy hands me the controller, and in the game it renders where the controller is compared to the headset.
That's awesome.
So he just puts it in front of me, and I just go out and grab it, even though I can't see it. I know where it is visually represented in the headset, and I can just grab it immediately.
That's so rad.
Completely
That was
1-to-1.
so-
Completely
Yeah.
1-to-1. Nice.
It was fucking dope.
Nice.
And then I was like, it's just basically in a tube, and there's a wall coming at you. I was just like looking around this neon, cool-looking tube around me, and like, holy fuck, I'm in this tube, even though I'm just the camera behind a block. Like, it's not really trying to be that. But I noticed as I was looking around, all around the tube, looking at all the pretty lights, people behind me in line were laughing. They're like, you'll see. You'll all see. It's immersion. You don't understand. Because, like, watching the demo, waiting in line, you watch that demo 20 times. But then when you play it, it clicks. Watching it is not even close to doing it justice.
Yeah,
Right.
It's true.
Right.
It was a very, very simple game, but it's basically, I was already a big fan of VR and just reaffirmed, like, yep, we're okay here. And I did notice it was a little bit pixely, but
Little
once you
screen
start
door.
playing the game,
It doesn't
you
Yeah.
don't notice it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like once you put the headset on, it's like, oh, that's just a menu. You say, okay, that looks a little bit bad, but then you're playing the game, you just totally get lost in it. And you don't even think about that.
So is this your first time using VR? Did the PlayStation take your virginity?
How long did you think that pun?
Literally just
I
now.
was
I swear.
solid.
I swear.
That was good.
I swear.
How long did you think?
No, that was
that-
that was
how long did
on the
that
spot.
take?
That was on the spot. I was gonna say
Good.
VR virginity, but then I was like, just go
It's
with
my
it. Just go
PlayStation
with it.
virginity,
Yeah. So
previously known as Morpheus.
right.
Morpheus took your virginity.
Oh jeez.
I was saving myself for Morpheus.
He didn't offer me the pills. He just.
Oh God.
Good job.
Oh
This is the addendum. This is the addendum team, everyone. This is
Welcome to the
everyone-
Dated Break podcast.
Welcome.
Oh man.
But yeah, I also wanted to try Tilt Brush, but I was like, fuck, I'm not artistic enough to have these 20 people watch me. I don't know what I'd be doing in here, really.
Just make
So I
snowmen
didn't do that.
and smiley faces.
Draw a swastika.
There was someone who was like, "How long do you think it's gonna be till someone comes along and draws a bunch of swastikas?" I shit you not. That was said.
Terrible.
It was.
There was a VR demo where most of the demos you could see what the person was looking at.
Mm-hmm.
There was one VR demo where you could not. It was just a blank monitor, and people looked fucking terrified. I had no idea what they're doing, but they're like holding onto the side of their goggles and like stressing out, like grabbing it. It's like no, thank you. I don't want to deal with that.
You didn't want to do that one?
No.
It seemed very unappealing.
You
It's
know
a very
what?
short line.
This entire thing just like reminds me of like a theme park, except way better and way cooler.
That's actually a good way to describe it.
Because there's so many cool experiences you could do.
They're
and
unique, yes.
And then you're also standing in line for like.
But this is free.
Yeah.
Do you have
That's
any
part
idea
of what makes it better.
Do you have any idea what the horror game was?
I don't remember what
It
called.
wasn't. It was called Sound Self. I don't think it was a horror game. I don't necessarily know.
They might have just been super tense and scary.
But
It might have been just like it sounded really weird and people were just like, ooh. Just
Yeah, I
freaked
don't
out
know,
by it. Yeah.
Sound Self.
So we played a few other games as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having trouble remembering the name of some of them. There's one by Behemoth. It seems like more of just a little fun little tech demo, where it was a bunch of blocks and there's a bunch of AI that spawn in, multiplayer game. When AI spawn in, just move one block slowly towards you, and you have to just try and run away from them. But you have like a big arcade setup where it's just like 4 giant buttons for each direction you could go. But it was the direction what didn't mean left in the left button. What didn't mean left. It was if the left button was green, then you had to look at the screen, and the green button could be saying go down.
Yep.
I see.
It was like a mix of. It was sort of like a rhythm game and what is that, tower defense? Like what is that gameplay format? It's very hard to describe.
It's just very short burst survival kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it basically made you constantly looking down at your controller and looking up to make sure you're going the right direction. And it made it really good and stressful when the enemies are slowly creeping toward you, because you're like looking up and down frantically trying to figure out what button to do. And the lady running the demo just said, just hit all the buttons as fast as possible when someone comes, because you can just jump everywhere. It was it was neat. I forgot what it was called.
I think it was called. It was something barbarian.
It was like Get Off Barbarian
Get Back
or Run
Barbarian.
Away. Get Back Barbarian, yeah.
I think that might have been it.
That's what it was called. And then we played another multiplayer game that I can't even. I don't remember the name of that or have much to say about it. Do you remember that the weird
Oh, that was bad.
territory control game?
Yeah, it was a short game. You play as a dot. It was a beautiful game. Not gonna lie, the design was really nice. You play as this little dot, and you move around the screen with your controller, and you have to take possession of like a ball, basically, and it sort of absorbs into you. And then if you don't have it, you have to get it. And the point of it is to fill up first to half of the blocks filled up. Like there's these little play areas you need to fill up, and they fill up with how much time you spend in them. So the longer you have possession of the ball in the particular areas, the closer you are to winning, I guess. It was not a really good gameplay model in my opinion. Yeah.
Also no line there. I forgot that Cuphead was there. We did not play Cuphead.
The line for that was really long, but I
Yeah.
was watching it was on the outside screen while I was got your tacos, and holy shit, man, that game was beautiful.
Do you guys
It's
know
a-
that game?
It's like is everything hand drawn? All the animations hand drawn.
I
You
believe
guys
so.
know?
It is.
You guys know about Skullgirls?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
It's sort of like it's all hand drawn like that, but in the style of early cartoons like Steamboat Willie
Yeah.
and before.
Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about the RPG?
No. Cuphead. It's the.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It's a side scroller.
Oh, yeah,
It's not
yeah,
made
yeah,
by Skullgirls. You said just reminded him of it.
yeah. I remember seeing the trailer for that.
Yeah. It seems fun. It seems fun.
Actually, it looks like you're playing a cartoon.
Mm-hmm. But it's got really nice smooth animation.
The more I see it, like the less I'm convinced that it's like an indie title. I mean, obviously, like
It's two people making it.
yeah, okay, yeah. See, I mean, see, it's still indie, but like the way people have been promoting it doesn't feel like an indie game. Because
Really?
like I know Microsoft, I think both Microsoft and Sony like kind of showcased it in their E3 press conferences.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and like it's gotten a lot of love from everyone, like and everyone who's been exposed to it. But
Because
yeah.
it's really cool.
It is, and you know, it probably deserves the attention. It looks really good.
Another game we played is called Omnibus, which is very, very silly, low poly game where you're playing as a bus. There's a bunch of different levels, but you're playing as a bus that is the physics are insane. If you turn too hard, you basically just do 30 barrel rolls in a row and fly through the sky. But to try and like tilt and slightly manage to one of the levels we saw someone playing was basically like Crazy Taxi, where you have a bunch of people on your bus and you're just trying to get to different parts of the level and stop it so they can like get off or something. But if you do anything too quickly, the bus spins in circles and everyone flies off and you lose. And you could also in that game you could just drive through buildings and just destroy the buildings.
It's the best way to get
bus.
around.
Yeah, because you if you turn too much, shit goes crazy. The best way to go through the level is to literally go through the level and just destroy the buildings. That was just a fun, simple little game.
Yes.
What
But then I
else?
didn't get to play that because I went to go listen to who was that?
Tim Schafer.
Yes, Tim Schafer. Tim Schafer, the big name there, I think. I guess.
From Double Fine, yes.
Yes. And I just abandoned my post in line, only to see that, like, out of politeness, I just thought it would be like a good thing to do to go see the dude talk. But then it turned out that wasn't as important, and I had to listen to him scream over the intercom all the names of the games that I could just walk around and go look at if I wanted to. Yeah. So we walked away.
And then took your place back in line.
Well, no, because I'd seen enough of Omnibus.
I see.
It's a pretty simple, like, I gotta say, like, I get tired of that after 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was good for this event.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems with stuff where you're waiting in line for an hour and you see the demo go 3,000 bajillion times, and then you play it and you're like, "Yep, I just watched this." Except for the VR, clearly is different.
Yeah.
And then for Tacoma, I basically stood in line backwards because I didn't want to see someone play that demo. And Tacoma is the next game from Full Bright Studios,
Guys who made
or
Gone
Productions.
Home, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The men and women who made Gone Home. Please.
Oh. Excuse me. Sorry.
It's essentially Gone Home in space. It's a little bit more involved. The world around you is a little bit more lively. There's like, you can trigger events where here's like AI reenacting what happened here, so people talking instead of you just reading, listening to stuff. See it happen a little more.
Trying to tread carefully to avoid spoilers.
Yeah.
And
I really enjoyed that. It looked a little bit pixely, maybe just because it was like a 40-inch monitor and the keyboard and mouse was set up 3 inches away from it and you couldn't scoot it back.
Right.
But I really enjoyed that. The whole, like the space base that you're in there is called, it's run by VRgin Tesla.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
In 2077.
That's good.
Or whatever.
That's good.
So, yeah, they're just trying to, a lot of it is thinking of what near future space stuff could be.
Is it like a serious take on it, or is it a?
It seemed like it.
Okay, that sounds really fun actually. Then, because
the lightheartedness and humor came from characters talking. You know.
Yeah.
But it looks like a kind of serious game. It's again like just exactly like Gone Home. You're the only person there and you're trying to figure out what happened.
And you're just like walking around.
But there's like an AI that controls everything that you interact with, and you can any surface in the game you can just look at and then right click and your grab boots go onto that.
Oh.
So the levels
Really?
are so the spaceship or space base is designed like architecturally with that in mind. That's
Oh,
kind of
that's
interesting
cool.
to think about. You just like you go into a building or room, look up the ceiling, and then you see the ceiling line. There's a door upside down in the ceiling that you need to go through. So you just right click on it and you go through that door in the ceiling.
Mhm.
And then I had a little bit of a fun time trying to break that demo too.
You're telling me about the texture gap?
Yeah, there's just this really small thing where I looked at a ground between two textures, like a line in the ground showing where to go, and then just followed that. It was just there's no floor. It was just all like stars, like the outer space follow me.
I could just
And
imagine
then
you. No, go ahead.
what are you saying?
I could just imagine you just like kind of like looking away from the monitor and like shouting at the developers like, hey, dude, shit's broken, dude.
Nina Freeman, the developer that was supposed to be there, I saw her around just hanging, drinking with her friends. She wasn't even no one was even manning the Tacoma demo. It was just it just reset itself every time. Another thing I did is I carried like a branch of a fern with me throughout the entire demo, and you have to drop it in order to interact with things in the world. So at the very end, you're interacting, you're like putting in your password, basically. So you have to drop it and put in your password, and then it's supposed to fade to white, and the title screen comes up. But I dropped it, hit the button to put in the password, picked it back up, and then my character's using both their hands to use the password, and then the fern's just sitting there, and then you can right-click to put it in your front view to fully examine it, and as it faded to white, I was just spinning a piece of fern around.
Nice.
It's like, thanks for playing Tacoma, and my fern is
Fern,
just going insane. That's why I really wish the developers were there to see that. But they weren't, unfortunately.
I for a second like I thought you were actually carrying an actual fern leaf on the convention floor, and I was like, what's it for?
Oh,
do you want Phil
little
Fish to sign your
entire-
fern leaf?
Yeah, here, Phil, sign my fucking fern.
And he'd be like, you
I'm
gotta
not
pay me for
weird.
that first.
What do I get from it?
I like Phil Fish. Everyone hates him. I like him.
You don't have to. I don't know him. I don't know anything about him.
I mean, it depends
just
on
know
why
what's
you
been
like
said.
him, right? I mean,
What do you
he's
mean?
entertaining for sure, but
I mean, he's anti PC in the way that I'm talking about. What's it called?
Political
Politically correct.
correctness.
Yes.
yes.
And I'm a
Right.
fan of that.
I see. Understandable. I mean, I'm sure he also was actually anti-PC, as in he didn't really want to put Fez on PC either.
That's what he mostly developed it for.
Oh, did he? Interesting.
Yeah.
I-
That's indie, dude. Most
Oh,
indie game
yeah.
developers, unless they get a publishing deal early, just
Right.
doing the PC and then figure out
Yeah,
the rest out later.
got it. Okay. Any other highlights from the event that you recall?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. Really enjoyable though, gotta say.
Highly recommend going to it. Although
Yes.
knowing like how these Bay Area events work in general, like it's always like first one's small and then the second one is just insanely huge and super crowded.
Well, this was the third one, I think.
Third one.
Yes.
Okay.
And it gets bigger every time.
It gets bigger every time, and then eventually it gets out of hand. You're just like, it's always too crowded. Happens every time for everything that I go to in the Bay Area.
Really? What did you go to recently?
Well, I know. I went to Bricks by the Bay, which was an old like Lego convention, just like a
really?
show.
Oh, cool.
That one got really crowded, really fast. They had to switch venues to like a larger hotel in Santa Clara, and
Whoa.
then the Garlic Festival. That's technically not the Bay Area, but it's Gilroy, so it's like that gets ridiculously crowded now. But it's been several years since I last went, so
That sounds nice though.
the Garlic Festival is pretty great. You could eat garlic flavored ice cream.
I love a garlic.
Why would you do that?
It tastes pretty good. It's not that bad.
Did you have to pay for this?
Oh yeah, tickets are super expensive for
What?
And then once you're in, do you
But
get
the garlic
free shit?
festival.
no,
wait,
no,
wait.
you
Are
pay
you?
for more things there.
Wow, fuck
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. But there's a lot of garlic.
So does it just taste like garlic?
No,
As ice cream?
It's like ice cream. Yeah, It's hard to describe. It's been so long since I had it, but from what I remember, it was still enjoyable to eat as an ice cream. But you could definitely tell that was garlic flavored.
Oh.
So I guess take that like sweet taste that you get from garlic, when you first eat it when it's like cooked, and then just apply it to ice cream. And then there's the smell, but
Yeah, I don't mind that smell.
the garlic. It's garlic. Okay. I was planning on having a short-ish podcast this week, mostly because I couldn't find much to talk about. Although, do you want to talk about Overwatch, Taylor?
I know nothing about Overwatch.
Well, I mean, some more info has come out of it.
That it costs money.
It costs money.
$60 money?
Multiple
$60 money.
monies.
$60 money.
Ooh, no.
And
With microtransactions.
probably microtransactions, yeah.
Well, I mean, like, the fact that they're not saying anything is more or less an implied...
Well, they just don't know what the hell they're doing. That's what the official word is, right?
Yeah, but, like, they're probably going to want to make money off the heroes, so... Microtransactions.
Heroes? What do you mean? Aren't they champions of some sort?
Are they
I don't know what they're
legends?
called in
Are
Overwatch.
they,
League of
are they in a
Legends.
league of any sort?
League of Legends
Are they ancients?
has champions. They're not even called Legends.
Yeah, what's with
It
that?
should be called League of Champions.
I think that was taken.
Lock?
Lock.
That might have been taken. I know that my name is taken by some shitty Canadian RPG studio.
Ravenstorm?
Yes, it's an RPG. You can look up the 90s website right now.
Ravenstorm, the game.
It's really a thing.
Your name is copyrighted by someone else.
Is it? I take issue with that. I'm going to sue them. Take all their money.
Technically, you were there first, right?
I don't know.
I mean, you were born in, what, late 90s, mid-90s?
96.
Yeah. So,
We're all born in '96, aren't we?
Yeah,
Yeah, more or less.
I am.
But, like,
More or less. What are you talking
dating...
about?
I mean, in the month.
There's
in the
4
year.
of us here.
In the month, like I'm talking about month-wise, like late.
Okay, what about
96.
year-wise? What about year-wise?
Year-wise,
Are we all
that's all.
96?
Yeah. So,
All right.
but so like I was thinking, if that game RPG was made in whatever mid 2000s or early 2000s, you came first.
Yes.
So
Good.
Start getting a lawyer, man.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't think that's how it works, but yeah.
Yes. No, I want... No, it does. It is.
You say,
how it
I want
works.
you to stop selling copies of this game. It's like, yeah,
I want you
that
to
happened
stop.
a while ago.
I want you to never have made this game. I want you never to have been born.
Sure, it took
And
2
then
years
I'll-
of your life, but
I
I,
will-
am selfish, and I don't want this to exist anymore.
It's just I'll get the lawyer to win the case, and then after I win the case, then they'll have to be unborn legally.
What if you lose the case? Will you have to be unborn legally?
I suppose so.
Erased from time?
Yes.
Game of names. You win or you're unborn. There's no middle ground.
There can be only one.
So, anyways, yeah. So
Yeah.
Overwatch just seems like I'm surprised actually because like the precedence of these old multiplayer only titles has generally been, especially with microtransactions, has generally been free to play, and then you buy heroes and champions or whatever, and people are perfectly okay with that. As is the case with Dirty Bomb. But I played Battleborn, and I'll talk more about it later. But apparently, that's going to be you're gonna have to pay for that too. I was talking to my friend about it, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, Battleborn. I've been enjoying Battleborn a lot." And then I'm like, "Yeah, too bad you're gonna have to pay for it though." He's like, "Oh, you have to pay for that? Well, this game's dead." So people don't like to pay for games apparently.
Well,
The
for
thing is
multiplayer
that-
only games.
Yeah.
The free to play makes people money, though. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
microtransactions are where the money's at nowadays, because that's a way around even piracy. Because everyone wants skins, and you can't pirate skins.
No, you cannot.
Well, for Payday.
Payday, you can. There was a mod that was released earlier that allowed you to
Well, get skins
Yeah.
without buying. Apparently, it's actually just an update to an older mod that allows you to host those
Pirated
DLC maps
multiplayer?
without
Oh.
buying them.
Cool.
Yeah, so they updated it so that you could also get the skins without buying them.
Yeah.
Eh.
Um. Anyway, so it just seems like nasty business for Overwatch in general and this genre of games in general. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
we'll see how it turns out when the game is released and all that.
Indeed.
It is BlizzCon this weekend, so maybe
is.
getting more news. Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe BlizzCon's over already, right? Because
It is.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
It's done.
It's done. Okay. Well, we're about to close out, but before we do, we're gonna talk about what we've been, playing, doing, creating, destroying.
All right.
Well, yeah, Ravenstorm, why don't we start with you? Because I know you have something. You got something in today, today. I'm not sure if it was today or yesterday.
It was earlier this morning. I was delivered my Steam controller. Steam controller. I don't really have that much to say about it right now because I've been in the process of testing it. But initial impressions are good. I can use the trackpad to control my computer from my bed. It's wireless, so I can just put on. I can just manage my media and my sound system and everything, just without too much effort. Of course, me
You
being
never have to
frail
leave
and
your
all.
bed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the beautiful world.
Also, typing on this thing is really fun. I hate to say it, but typing on this is kind of fun.
But does it sound like this?
That sounds horrible.
Not at all. It feels actually more like it feels more. Oh, the haptic feedback system is insanely cool too.
How does it
vibrating
work?
everywhere?
It's very high precision vibrations at very specific intervals that give it a distinct feel. Like it gives you a reliable stimulus to tell you how fast you're going or how much or where you are on the grid.
Oh.
It's interesting. Right now I have my left D-pad assigned to be a scroll wheel as I roll my finger around it in a circular pattern. And my other one controls my mouse movement in a trackball simulation, which is really, really cool. And it's basically it's a little bit harder to use, obviously a lot less direct, but for most tasks I could use this to control my computer. I'm happy
What about
about
video
that.
games?
Video games. I've been playing Rocket League with it. Just practicing. It's extremely customizable. And I've got to say that the grip triggers, I'm going to call them grip triggers, okay, are insanely valuable. The dual stage triggers are insanely valuable. The trackpads are just like the amount of configurations that you could put on this same piece of hardware are insane. I have it set to where if I grip both triggers and move my stick, and there's still a conveniently placed, ergonomically considered stick on the thing itself, and that has haptic feedback too,
Oh,
Huh.
that's interesting.
which is rad. I
did
did
not
not
know
expect that.
So just like the stick kind of vibrate or something.
Just very slightly, like when you tap your screen, if you have a phone with haptic feedback.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's always nice.
It is.
Question, Ravenstorm.
Yes.
Did you know that the controller has a gyroscope?
I didn't. Holy shit. Really?
Yeah, I saw someone set up for Metal Gear Solid 5. Unfortunately, doesn't allow for analog movement because it doesn't support both keyboard and controller. But basically what the person did is the right touchpad treated like just a notebook touchpad, but also that when your thumb is held on it, put the gyroscope sensitivity to lowest so that when you move the controller, you get really precise aiming, kind of like Splatoon on the Wii U.
Super cool, dude.
So not as good as a mouse, or actually for some people it might even be better than a mouse. I don't know, but
I gotta say,
better than a regular controller for aiming.
the things that it's allowed me to do in Rocket League are really cool. I can just hold the grips down and then I'll do like a boosting barrel roll that perfectly just like accelerates the ball to its maximum speed every time. I think that's kind of cool. flick. I can just press anywhere along the x-axis, basically on my left D-pad, and it'll turn to precisely that much. So the steering is even just it's just like pointing a laser at something. It's really cool. Overall, I have to say that it is chunkier, and I feel that for people with smaller hands, this might be a problem because I fit this comfortably, like perfectly comfortably. But I feel like my brother, who played with it earlier, he didn't have as good of a time with the ergonomics. I have sort of large hands, so that's not really a good sign for overall usability. And I gotta say that the Steam jewel in the middle looks a little bit chintzy. Considering the impressive aesthetic design of everything else on the controller, it's just sort of like plasticky, you know. All the buttons are sort of plasticky, but admittedly, they have the nicest push of any controller that I've used. They have a like an almost it's mechanical-esque in that it triggers not all the way down. Let's see, testing it right now. Yes, it triggers without pressing it all the way down, so you don't have to bottom out every time, which I think is interesting. It's also got a micro USB port on it, I think, and I don't know what that does.
Really?
Yes.
Charging.
Yeah, but it didn't come with rechargeable batteries, so I'm worried. The box it came in is really nice too, well designed.
That's good.
Overall, I'd recommend it. It's definitely something I'm going to be playing with myself. It's something I'm going to be using on a daily basis, and it is something that I can see just having this has its advantages. It has advantages, yeah.
Cool.
And that's about all.
I'm looking forward to maybe picking one up myself. I want to get one before the deadline for getting a free copy of Rocket League and Portal 2 goes away. But
Ooh, I got to try this with Portal 2.
yeah,
I'm gonna start downloading that right now.
but we'll see. Anything else you've been testing, playing, destroying, creating?
No, not so much. I've been handling some things in my life, so I haven't had much time to work on the website. But
Right.
I'm gonna be back on it this weekend, and hopefully I can get some of our content up there.
Yep.
I'm looking at one of Taylor's articles and one of James's articles right now, and that's gonna be up
There should be
soon.
up soon. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna step back in promoting this for a while because I don't feel like it's nearly finished enough. Like it exists, but it's not a website, dude.
Soft launch.
Yes. And I don't see that there's any problem with soft launch because by the time that people need to care about this, there will be a good content base. There will be an established, it'll be established and nice at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm thinking we should just focus on getting maybe one great article out there a week.
And infrastructure.
Just to start. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Taylor, what have you got to share?
Galaxy,
Galaxy.
which is GALAK-Z by 17-Bit Studios. It is a roguelike. Like you play as a spaceship going around in a map. I'm trying to think of so many comparisons I can do pretty easily of like structurally in a roguelike.
Yeah.
It's like a Spelunky,
I do like Spelunky.
but the combat is not really like Spelunky because Spelunky is more of
A platformer.
it was platforming, yes, but this is the ship controls feels like asteroids. It has weight and momentum and gravity is playing into everything. But it's Spelunky in the way that the world is not just fighting against you; it's the world is fighting against itself as well as you. Where different creatures can hurt each other, attack each other.
That's
There's
always
environmental aspects that interplay with all these. So there's that, but also kind of feels like playing Halo,
Oh.
Huh?
but not. It's not a first-person shooter. It feels like Halo in the way that you kind of go crazy for a bit, but then your shield goes down, and you have to go run off and hide. And it's that loop of shooting, killing, shields down, run off and hide, come back in, and it's a lot of chaos and different enemy types that you have to play very differently against to kill, just like Halo. I'm a big fan of it so far. I've played like 3 or 4 hours of it. Yeah, there's a mode where it's basically not a roguelike where you just go level by level, so I can see it all and get better at it before I try and really dive my teeth into
Do it in
the
one
whole
run.
roguelike aspect.
Yeah.
But it's also after the first world, you get the ability to turn into a mech, which adds more mechanics. So with the spaceship, you can just fly around, shoot your normal gun, and use consumable missiles.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also hit X, which makes you like dodge in the air, so you can dodge some bullets. But the mech, you can hit B to. I'm playing an Xbox 360 controller. You can grab enemies and like grapple them and from far away and bring them to you, or like asteroids and stuff, or whatever objects in the environment. So you can pick up an enemy and then throw it into a spike plant, and that helps hurt it. So you can just do that over and over again.
Oh, that's cool.
Or if there's lava, you can do the same thing. You can throw enemies into other enemies. There's like a enemy like a alien bug in the wall that eventually it springs out and grabs you and does a lot of damage. But I found if I'm holding another enemy and face it, then it just grabs that bug I'm holding.
Oh.
This is a lot of cool, just little, micro interactions that I'm sure I'll find with time playing the game, just like Spelunky. Really fun, really fucking hard. Once I got the mech suit, it just shit got turned up into 11 because you have to try and really manage who you're fighting, because you can't just see everyone fight everyone all the time.
Right.
You have to either try and lure them into environment traps or into the other factions to help fight.
That's kind of cool.
And it's kind of like a maze structure. Get to the exit.
Is it
similar to Spelunky.
Is it kind of like a bullet hell too, since you're like in a spaceship and you're dodging like enemy bullets and lasers? And
If
stuff
it's
like that?
it's kind of plays like that, but it's like I said, if you're in a actual aspect where it is bullet hell, you are losing, because it's too hard. You have to try and really manage how you deal with the situations. I'm liking it a lot. So.
Cool. I'll probably definitely pick it up. Actually, it's been on my watch list for a while, so I'll give it a whirl once I pick it up. Anything else?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
It's
go ahead.
also set like an 80s anime.
Yes.
With this, in stylistically, as well as each level you go into, it acts like as an episode.
That's
and it says like written by and then a randomly generated name.
That's kind of cool.
Yep, sorry, I just had to mention that.
Well, yeah, because it adds a lot of character to the. Makes sense. Max. Oh well, do you have anything else that you were checking out?
Nope.
Okay, so
It's been
I'm
a
talking-
dry week, everyone.
Yeah, a lot of awkward silence when it comes to me. Why are you people not talking? I have not really been
Because
doing
it's your turn
anything.
to talk.
It's your turn,
Besides-
Max. Talk.
What are you?
Tell us
CIA?
things.
Are you gonna torture me?
What are the numbers,
Maybe.
Mason?
Speaking of which, I have not been making those videos in many, many months. As I said before, I was supposed to finish Dead Space 1 by Halloween.
Dude, you know what you should do?
What?
You should come back, and you should come back hard, but you should give it a really, 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 really far away deadline, like October 31st of next year. And then you'll definitely accomplish what you're set out to do.
Well, actually, I was thinking of changing some things with the show, like, I don't know, cutting it in half, because most people aren't going to watch a 20-minute YouTube video. Like, that's insane.
Some people
what?
will. What are you talking about?
Let's Plays
Most
are always
people-
under like an hour long. That's
Well,
just like standard.
Usually their episodes are, what, 10, 15 minutes long? 5 minutes?
No.
And
What? What
What's
world do you
what
live in?
plays-
Do you
what
live
plays-
in like 2009 where everyone thinks 15 minutes is the perfect time for video?
YouTube has evolved to do long form.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
I'm not really getting more than 20 views. Yeah, so
Right. So you're
um,
saying it's a better effort investment, right?
yeah, and it also allows me to cut out the downtime in the videos where I'm just walking, maybe shooting one or two necromorphs, and that's it. I want something a little more impactful.
Oh, yeah. I think it's so you want the highlights basically, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, if you remember my old videos, it's not just going to be gameplay. I always add in something else. Maybe it's a replay thing. Maybe it's a Photoshop of a cat, or the text of me mocking myself.
Dank edits.
Dank edits.
The truly dank edits. Yes, turning Dead Space into basic an anime.
Dank space.
Dank Space too. Dude, I could do Dank Space. We should do that.
Dank space.
We should do that.
I got a dank space, baby.
Wherever
does
I
that
am is
work?
a dank space.
How does that work? It's not multiplayer besides the third one.
The third one is by the way pretty fun to play with friends. Terrible.
It's
boss
not
fight.
that scary,
Fucking
but
hate that
still
game.
fun.
Did you play 3? Did you play 3?
So boring. God.
Did you play with a friend or?
Play by myself.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
better as a co-op game. In
That
fact,
always
even
feels like a caveat to me.
It does, but like
it was made to be a co-op game. Like, for one thing, much of the story kinda doesn't make sense
But
unless you play co-op.
I mean, it probably it's still not that great as a game, but
It was too much shooter, as I remember.
yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
You one of the first things you do is you're just on the ground hiding behind a car shooting people. It's like, okay,
yeah.
this is just a video game. There's nothing interesting here.
Yeah. What is it? Dead Space, Alien, Dead Space
But
2, Aliens.
We'll find that out in 2024 when Max gets to Dead Space 3 in his YouTube channel.
So 20 views per video.
It's hard.
Are you
to
doing it
decide.
for the money or are you doing it for the love, Max?
Yeah,
Hey, I am not going to monetize my stuff because that means I can't use copyrighted music and material.
and you have to give half of it to Phil Fish, who doesn't even make the game, but you have
He
to give half of
he
it.
still feels like he created video games, so he feels that
He created video game. He created Space War and that ancient tennis game.
yeah, he's immortal.
Yeah.
He created the Turing test.
That's not a video game.
I know.
It's a
He
video
created
game
computers.
enough.
He
It's the
created
greatest
computers.
video game ever played.
What is a video game, anyways, Taylor? No.
Life is a video game. What else? More Metal Gear Solid 5, and also watching videos of the old Metal Gear games.
Hey,
We'll
Max
also-
or Taylor,
What?
I have a request of you. Will one of you please give me family sharing so that I can play that wonderful game? Please.
Family sharing is a great way to share games with friends, by the way. I would do it with you guys. I family share. I'm a
Family sharing Metal Gear though, like.
You
if
get
you don't
separate
play the-
saves. You get separate saves.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Okay,
you get separate
good,
profiles.
because
You get separate profiles.
because much of the game's experience is in the beginning with the freaking blue whale that's on fire.
That's the point. That's the point of.
God, I've heard so much good shit about this game, and I got to play it for a short time at Taylor's house. I had such a blast. Haha.
It's an amazing game. Oh gosh. I will be after I finish most of the videos online, I will be playing Metal Gear Solid 4 on my PS3 because I want to see what the
How-
original Metal Gears were like with, 7 hours of cutscenes.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like you're just like sitting in front of your couch, just like staring blankly at the screen, and you're just like, "Hey, what are you doing, Max?" I'm playing video games.
Playing a game.
I'm
If you know
watching the
nothing
game.
about Metal Gear, then MGS4 is gonna make no fucking sense.
Yeah, because it was made to
That's
Be the
fan
conclusion to
service
the
game.
franchise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in fact
brings everything in, everything you can possibly imagine.
with no editor. Absolutely no editor.
I never said it was a good story.
It's a convoluted story.
It's the most story.
The most story
he-
that ever storied.
I guess that's the best way to say it. It's the most story. I'm guessing MGS5 is different with having less story.
Here towards the end, it really starts to ramp up.
Okay, please don't spoil anything for me because
I'm
YouTube
not
comments
there.
have already spoiled me on so much shit. God damn it.
Goddamn YouTube and their goddamn comments. Who is YouTube?
Who is this YouTube?
Who is this? You too.
Whose tube is it? It's not mine.
Find out at 11.
Oh god. Where the hell did that come
Whose tube is it? Whose tube is it
yeah.
anyways?
Whose tube is in
tube
my
is it?
house?
Oh god.
The game where views don't matter,
Yeah.
and you have to give Phil Fish half your money.
Oh gosh.
You guys are distracting me from my Rocket League match.
Are you playing competitive right now?
I'm testing it, yes.
Oh my god.
I'm
benchmarking
doing very,
it.
very
He's
well.
benchmarking it.
Very, very well. I gotta
Ugh.
say, I'll send a replay, but the added quality of the steering is just fantastic. I still missed all the goalie shots though. It's okay. It's all right.
Thanks for the update.
We should really. I think we should have a games cast where we just all play a 4-player online game somehow. Just and then we record it and we record our
What
podcast.
game do
over
we
it.
all have besides CS:GO?
We could do Dungeon Defenders 2. That's out now.
Do we?
I played that. It was unpleasant.
I don't have that.
It's free to play.
Okay. Where was I?
Anything
YouTube
else?
comments have filled me with such a lust for revenge. I am so sorry.
A lust for revenge? Did you say?
I think
Yes.
he's talking about it because they spoiled MGS5.
Yes. It's also a reference apparently to MGS5.
This franchise is full of memes and makes direct comments on memes before
It's
memes
all-
were a thing.
It's all about the memes. I hope you guys both know it's all about the memes.
What is it?
Yeah. Okay.
Life.
So every time I submit a problem set for my online course, they ask me what do I like or what do I hate about the course, or what do I like and what do I dislike about the course. And I'm never really obliged to answer those because I think they do a good job, and I'm not really going to complain about anything, even if it is sort of lame. But this time, the memes were too intense. They show a meme like every time. There's some like old meme. This is a series filmed in 2014, and they're bringing stuff back from like 2007, Peanut Butter Jelly Time. They
Oh my
played the
God.
entire
Oh.
video.
Jesus
It was
Christ.
terrible.
Is it like
I
dancing hamsters?
I honestly was disappointed in Stanford. Or wait, yes, yes.
Or is it
I was
MIT?
disappointed. MIT. Still, I'm disappointed in them because. No, I think.
Was it Stanford?
You told us it was MIT before.
Is
Unless
it?
it's a
No,
different
it's
one.
MIT does some. Stanford does.
MIT
others.
does some.
Which
Harvard.
one is it?
It's Harvard.
Oh.
It's Harvard X. It's 2014 at Harvard, and they're still showing these goddamn memes.
They were too dank.
Yes, they were too dank. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take the entire Peanut Butter Jelly Time video. I never even watched that back when it was a thing. I was like, does this end? And no,
Did you give it
didn't.
the baseball bat?
Yes, they gave it the baseball bat.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Harvard, where the remainder of Newgrounds is.
yes. And I just typed one word, and what I disliked or hated, I said memes. that is the feedback they're gonna get from
Well,
me.
they don't know whether you liked it or not, right?
I can imagine.
No, it says dislike. What did you dislike? And
I
it
can
said
imagine on
memes.
someone's like Cupid profile. It's just like likes and dislikes, turn-ons, and then turn-offs, memes.
Oh god, wipe this meme. Oh gosh.
Anything else you've been?
So that's what Max
Teenagers
has been
grumbling.
playing.
That's what Max has been playing.
Yeah, memes. The
Memes.
game.
I mean, Meme Runner for the Wii U before it got taken down.
What?
Do you know what Meme Runner is?
No.
I
It's
don't
a
want
fucking.
to know.
It's a really bad side-scrolling, endless, like platformer. You just basically just jump, and that's it. But it's just constantly playing memes, no matter what the fuck you do.
Oh.
Like
And
it's
it
filled
got-
with rage comic faces.
No, it's more like the MLG.
Oh, I see.
But it got taken down because it had the hit marker sound from Modern Warfare 2 in it.
Really?
A licensed thing that they put in their fucking game on the Wii U.
That's good.
Nuclear launch incoming.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have Snoop Dogg?
Maybe, dude. It was intense.
That sounds like so much fun.
You can just look it up.
What
You'll
you
get the
think?
joke in about 3 seconds.
That's all you need, really.
Yeah,
I haven't been
The
doing
joke
anything
in
else.
3 seconds.
Okay. I haven't been able to play too many video games this week, but the games that I have been able to play, I've been playing Battleborn. They've been doing like a beta type deal where you just kind of test the game. It's a closed technical test is the official term.
James somehow always gets and sent every closed beta to ever exist.
I know, right?
Indeed.
My beta was very, very closed.
I know. It's just like I'm like basically part of the press at this point. I get into everything. So yeah, it's a MOBA. They don't want to say that's a MOBA, but it is. The multiplayer. They only have one multiplayer mode right now, and basically the gist of it is that you have minions that you need to
okay.
sacrifice to a deity of some sort. You just have to you're basically you're trying to escort all these minions to a machine where they get ground up and destroyed, and you need to sacrifice 500 points worth of these minions before the enemy team does. And then to prevent the enemy team from sacrificing their minions, they have to you have to destroy your minions. You have to fight the minions, and then the minions can kind of hit you and stuff like that. They do a little bit of damage. So, and it's very, very mobile-like. There's like lanes, there's towers even. Like you have to construct things though. You have to construct like turrets or healing stations or speed stations where like they boost your speed for a little bit. And then there's even things where it's like you have to collect gold so you could construct buildings. So it's like you have to fight the Baron, right?
But it's resource based.
There's
some point?
there's some resources involved where if you have enough resources, you could build turrets, better turrets. And the thing is that the turret locations are shared so that you could destroy the enemy's turrets and then place your own on top of that. Because it sits in the middle of the map.
Yes.
Or you could, and then there's one healing station in the middle of the map where you have to destroy it, and then whoever gets controls of that, they get to heal. It's very mobile-like, but it's not quite the exact same thing, right? You're not trying to attack like a Nexus or whatever, like in League or Dota or whatever. But you do have to, escort minions and all that, and you have to fight minions. And then there's champions. Fights last a fair amount of time. They're about as long as your like league when champions fight.
Confrontation. Yeah.
And then there's the whole idea of team fights too, which actually I really do like the idea. Like, I was never a really big MOBA player. I was just like, if you thought that Heroes of the Storm was League for babies, no, Battleborn is League for even smaller babies.
Like infants?
Yeah.
Even smaller.
Because
babies.
you have
Embryos?
Fetuses.
you have two abilities.
Zygotes. No.
DNA.
Yeah.
First trimester fetus.
League for first trimester fetuses.
Singular cell.
That's
Okay,
their
I'm gonna stop.
tagline.
Yeah.
They're going for.
Yeah, that's what they're going for. And there's ranged heroes, champions, whatever they're called, characters. Sword fighting characters that there's healing class characters, which are pretty fun to use. Well, they're frustrating to have because sometimes you'll have a team and then like you don't know what your teammates are going to pick. So like you know what they pick, but by the time they've picked, they've locked in their choice. So like it's hard to tell who's gonna pick what, and there's like a lot of flaws in terms of like how the teams are built and all that, and there's some balance issues, blah 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 blah. But I still kind of enjoy it just because of it's the format of like first person kind of team fighting based ability spamming fun. But the issue is that it's going to be like Overwatch. It's going to be a pay to play game, so you're just going to be shelling $60 for this.
Oh no, I'm
So
not.
no, it's I don't. I think it's dead. I think it's going to
Yeah.
die. It's fun though. I kind of enjoy it, but I wouldn't pay $60 for it. If they charge like $15 for it, I would maybe consider it. But
The way multiplayer games work now is you need the free to play because that's the only way you keep the player base growing.
yeah, because no one wants to invest $60 in a game and then find out the community is dead, and then they're like, wow, you just wasted $60 on a game that you can't even
The
play.
thing is, it's a totally dated model because that used to work before mass distribution platforms like Steam were really big. You know, you would pay a fair amount of money for something like Halo, just as much as a console game because that's a reliable thing. When the next one comes out, everyone's going to be playing that. Then everyone shells out $60, and there's a good player base. It used to be reliable, but now there's so many games and so many communities that it's just overwhelming.
Yeah, I think the main issue is the amount of games. Is because like if this game sucks, oh well, just move on to the next one.
Yep. No scarcity.
Question. So, James, since you've played PlanetSide, what do you think would happen to a game that is basically PlanetSide but is buy to play for $40?
$40 is a little. Is it multiplayer only?
Multiplayer only, basically PlanetSide scale.
Which game are you talking about? Which game are you talking
Warhammer
about?
40k Eternal Crusade, currently in extremely early alpha. I feel like the game would fail because it's a buy-to-play game that's trying to be at the scale of PlanetSide.
Warhammer. Oh, I see. Because it requires that large player base. The appeal of PlanetSide is that you're like you jump in the game and then boom, you're a part of like a 300 player battle and it looks freaking epic and amazing.
Yeah.
You can't really do that if no one's playing. And I mean, the Warhammer 40k label kind of adds some value to it, but
At the same
$40,
time,
yeah,
yeah.
it's not a thing. So yeah, Battleborn it's a thing. I kind of like it, but not enough to pay for it. So take that for what you will. Team
I'll
fights.
take it for everything. Take it to the bank.
Yeah.
So 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10.
I mean, I don't like using numbers.
What if you rate it first as a free to play, and then afterward as a purchase?
As a free to play, it's a solid 7. It's
Okay.
a decent game. It's a decent game.
Okay.
As a purchase, it goes down to like a 4 or 5, just because it looks really low quality. Like the textures are not like it doesn't look very good too. Like I mean I know like art style is a huge issue, is like a huge thing, and like you have to manage your art. Like you don't have to have good graphics, but the way it looks is kind of like low resolution textures on Borderlands characters, and it's just meh. Yeah, no, not fun. Yeah, so that's my take on Battleborn, and that's all really that I've been playing this week. I mean, I could say that I've been playing Counter-Strike and all that, and I have, but that's not news, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to not playing Fallout 4 next week.
Me too.
I don't know. Are you gonna be picking it up, Taylor?
I don't have money.
Nor do I. That's the disadvantage of $60 games, everyone. People
Well,
who like games
that-
can't
that's-
afford them.
Single player game.
probably-
I'm okay with. I'm okay with paying $60.
This game's
for it.
probably worth $60.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
if you
The
like
Bethesda
Fallout.
games, yeah. The Bethesda games are generally pretty good. Not Brink though, but that's not.
Brink was. We're gonna talk about that in your in an article sometime.
Yeah,
An
yeah.
article.
Yeah, I think.
God,
When I talk
that
about Dirty Bomb, I think.
game was
On the brink of failure?
No. It was actually
was
it fell
past
off the.
that.
It was past that. Yeah.
God,
It-
that game sucks.
Beyond the brink of failure?
It came out, and I don't think anyone liked it.
I thought it was cool, but it was just so janky and.
It was
Yucky.
like
It didn't play very well. It didn't play like it looked.
The maps look clustered.
Maps were clustered.
Like, claustrophobic clustered.
The parkour was really janky. Running around, weapons, blah blah blah. Not fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're about done here. Any last words from you guys?
Anyone getting Nuka-Cola from Target?
Are they selling that now? Are they selling that now?
Starting Tuesday, I believe.
I might pick up a bottle just for the novelty. Okay. I think that's it. So thank you for listening. Our intros and outros provided to you by Grant Webster. You can check out the SoundCloud link in the video description. Max, if you want, I can delete your channel link.
Yeah.
from your social.
I'll just tell you when new videos are up. So.
That sounds good. And of course, you could always visit our ever-developing website at addendum.com. And without further ado, I'm your host James, and on behalf of Ravenstorm, Taylor, Max, and myself, we'll see you next time.